Here is the actual bombing of the mighty USS Arizona by Jap planes. These pictures were made by a fearless cameraman who thought nothing of his personal safety to make possible this record for all posterity. A single lucky hit was responsible for the disaster that befell the Arizona when a Jap bomb falling directly through one of the battleship's funnels exploded in the engine room and set ablaze tons of fuel oil. Dense black smoke billowed to the sky as the massive control tower began to keel over. The Arizona's courageous crew stuck to its guns until the very end. Here was displayed heroism that will live forever in the glorious annals and traditions of the American Navy.
Six West Virginian men lost their lives on December 7, 1941, while serving on the battleship Arizona. Tillman David Browning was born at Crooked Creek in Logan County in 1923. At age 17, he enlisted in the Navy in December 1940. He served as a seaman first class on the Arizona. His name is memorialized on the tablets of the missing in Honolulu, Hawaii, and on the Arizona Memorial. Robert Paul Laterac was born at Beverly in Randolph County in 1917. Paul enlisted in the Navy in 1937 and served as a fire controlman, mate second class on the Arizona. His name is memorialized on the tablets of the missing and on the Arizona Memorial in Honolulu.
The once mighty Arizona now rests on Pearl Harbor's muddy bottom, a pitiful relic of its former self, a grim monument to the treachery of Japan. The once mighty dreadnought's armor plate is twisted and torn, but the great battleship's control tower still stands, a defiant beacon that in days to come will cast its shadow upon Nippon's very shores.
Robert Warren Robinson was born at Roby in Harrison County in 1922. In June 1940, Robert enlisted in the Navy and served on the Arizona as a pharmacist mate third class. His body was recovered, and he is buried at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii. Clarence William McComas was born in Kentucky in 1923 and was raised in the area of Chapmanville in Logan County, West Virginia. In May 1939, he enlisted in the Navy and served as a seaman first class on the battleship West Virginia. For unknown reasons, Clarence was on the Arizona when it was sunk on December 7, 1941. It was not until 1949 that he was buried near his hometown of Chapmanville.
The Arizona's gun crews, battered and broken, fired to the last. Their guns pointed skyward, from whence the enemy appeared.
Randall James Thomas was born at Urbican in Webster County in 1921. He enlisted in the Navy in November 1939 and served on the Arizona as a seaman first class. His name is memorialized on both the tablets of the missing and the Arizona Memorial in Honolulu, Hawaii. Ernester Seangle was born in Wyoming County in 1922 and resided in both Fayette and Greenbrier counties during his young life. He enlisted in the Navy in October 1940 and served as a fireman second class on the Arizona. His name is memorialized on both the tablets of the missing and the Arizona Memorial in Hawaii. Two men from West Virginia lost their lives while serving on the battleship West Virginia on December 7, 1941. William Garnett Christian was born at Gary in McDowell County in 1916. He later moved to Tennessee. William enlisted in the Navy in 1936 and served as a Baker second class on the West Virginia. He was about to be discharged when the bombing occurred and had a wife and 4-year-old son waiting for him at home. He is buried in Tennessee. Clyde Richard Wilson was born at Fairview in Marion County in 1918. He enlisted in the Navy in 1938 and married his wife Edna in 1939, and they had one child. Clyde served as a seaman first class on the West Virginia. Clyde is buried at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii. 2 men from West Virginia lost their lives at Wheeler Field on December 7, 1941. Robert Lee Hull was born at Wheeling in Ohio County in 1921. He enlisted in the Army Air Corps in 1940 and was stationed at Wheeler Field with the 72nd Pursuit Squadron when the attack occurred. Robert was originally interred at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii, but in 1947 was laid to rest near his hometown in West Virginia. Russell Battleoff was born in West Virginia in 1920. He enlisted in the Army Air Corps in 1940 and was stationed at Wheeler Field with the headquarters squadron of the 15th Pursuit Group. Russell was originally buried in Hawaii, but was finally laid to rest in 1947 near his family in West Virginia. Robert Kirk Porterfield was born on December 7, 1921 at Wheeling in Ohio County, West Virginia. He later moved to Ohio. Robert served as an aviation machinist mate 3rd class with Patrol, Squadron 12 at the Kaneohe Air Station near Pearl Harbor when he lost his life on his birthday in 1941. Robert is buried in Ohio. His brother James Thomas Porterfield served as a pilot in both World War II and the Korean War, where he lost his life during aerial combat. 2 men from West Virginia lost their lives aboard the battleship California on December 7, 1941. George Vincent McGraw was born near Fairmont in Marion County in 1916. He enlisted in the Navy in 1940 and served as a fireman 1st class on the California. His name is memorialized on the tablets of the missing in Honolulu, Hawaii. Howard Lucas Adkins was born near Goodwill in Mercer County in 1921. He enlisted in the Navy and served as a fireman 1st class on the California. He and fellow West Virginian George McGraw among the approximately 22 men killed on the California whose remains have never been identified. Claude Bryant was born at Canvas in Nicholas County in 1918. In 1940, he enlisted in the Army and rose to the rank of corporal. He was a gunner with the 41st Coast Artillery Unit stationed near Pearl Harbor. Claude's unit shot down a Japanese bomber the day of the attack. Claude and 3 other men died when a Japanese Zero crash-landed near his artillery battery. Claude is buried near his hometown in West Virginia. This concludes our tribute to the West Virginians who died during the Pearl Harbor attack of December 7, 1941. We apologize if we have missed anyone. God bless these men for their sacrifices.